Good morning, boys and girls. Let's talk about life cycles. This whole week, we're going to be talking about life cycles of different animals, plants, insects, and today we are going to start by talking about the life cycle of a plant. Now, plants have different stages, okay? All creatures in a life cycle have different stages. The plant has 4 stages. It starts out as a little seed. The life of most plants all starts with a seed. So apple trees start with a seed, flowers start with a seed, cactuses start with a seed. Almost every plant starts with just one little seed. Seeds are a small plant covered with a protective skin called a seed coat. The seed coat will keep it safe from the weather. Just like a coat can keep you safe from the weather, a coat keeps the seed safe from the weather too. The seed coat keeps it safe from the weather. What do seeds need to grow? They need water, soil, sunlight, and space. The water helps to give nutrients to the roots, and the soil keeps it like its little home and gives nutrients to the roots too. The sunlight helps it grow and helps it produce chlorophyll, and it helps the plants grow big. And then, of course, if it's growing big, it needs the space to grow. If it's just cram-packed in this little tiny space, it's not going to grow. Seeds come in lots of sizes. Most are small, but the biggest seed is called the coco de mer. It is the seed of a palm tree and can grow to be 12 inches long. That's as long as a ruler, boys and girls. 12 inches long, that's as long as a ruler. A seed that long, woo! And it can weigh up to 40 pounds. Are any of you 40 pounds? That's about as heavy as a microwave. Can you believe it? The next stage, we talked about the seed. Now look what the seed is doing. It's germinating. It's growing a root. Its root is poking out of there and it's going to create its little home in the soil. So the second stage is germinate. So we all know it's important to water a seed. Well, as water is taken in, the seed begins to swell and fill up. It gets bigger and bigger. This is called the plant's life cycle. It's called germination. It means the plant is now beginning to grow. Neat, huh? Soon, a tiny part of the plant will poke through. Can you believe that little guy will soon be a big plant full of flowers? Look how little it is. Do you think it's going to make big flowers? It's pretty little. The third stage of the plant life cycle is called a seedling. Oh, look at this little tiny plant poked right out of the soil. Soon after this, roots will start to grow down into the soil. The roots will hold the plant up nice and tall and sprout. A sprout will grow up into the air. This is called a sprout right here. This little part's called a sprout. See the sprout in the picture? It sprouts, needs food. It uses sunlight, water, air, and space to grow. This little plant is called a seedling. Seedlings are small and thin and usually only have a few leaves. It may be small, but this little thing will be a plant before you know it. The fourth stage of the life cycle is a young adult. The seedling is now growing bigger. Look at that, it's bigger, it has more leaves, and it's taller. Soon, it turns into a young adult. At this stage of life, the roots of the plant go down and start to spread out into the soil. It does this because the plant needs more support now because it's growing bigger. The stem grows stronger and taller and thicker. Leaves on the plant begin to get bigger too. Oh, it's getting so big. That's why the roots need to get bigger and grow more roots so that it can be a good foundation to hold the plant up. There are much more of them now. Can you count how many are on this young adult? Let's count them together. Let's count the leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I think there's a little one back there. We'll say it's 12. The next stage is the grown adult. All right, so we kind of put the adult stages together when we're talking about plants. The last stage, finally! When the plant stops to grow, it has become a grown adult. Adult plants can grow flowers. These flowers will have their own tiny seeds. Do you see all these little things in there? Those are seeds. These flowers will have their own tiny seeds. The tiny seeds will grow to be the same kind of plant as its parent. Animals and insects will spread these seeds as they eat from the plant. So when you see a little bumblebee land on the flower, it can take the seed on its little feet and antennas and move it and plant the seed somewhere else. The seeds will begin to grow in a new place, and it is the start of another plant life cycle. Okay, so just to recap our plant life cycle. All right, we start out with the seed, and then we go to the germinate stage where the little root comes out, and then we go down to where the roots and the stems soak into the ground. And then we have the small plant. And then we have the adult plant. All right, and then remember in the plant are the little seeds, and then animals and insects carry those seeds over, and then the whole cycle starts again. That's why it's called a cycle, is because it keeps going around and around and around. All right, boys and girls, thanks for learning about the plant life cycle with me today.